Wife, 28F, lied about the origins of our relationship, 28 male. Some background. My wife and I have been married now 2 years. Together for 5. We just bought a new house together. For the most part things are good. We enjoy many of the same things and spend almost all our time together. We are planning on trying for kids in the near future since now we have the house and we both want a family. One thing that often is a hurdle with me is if my wife is truly happy being with me in all aspects. She always says she is, but our sex life is infrequent at best and we have some rocky moments before marriage where she got counseling to make sure she was okay with the commitment. She has trouble long-term committing to anything, so for me I just accepted it as part of her personality, but there is lingering insecurity. Once we were married things did get a lot better on that front for the first year, but in the past couple months she seems unsettled and she doesn't question us directly, but she will make comments about how it's crazy that people are monogamous or how she wants to change her entire life and move to a new country. Again, I totally understand and I think it's normal to have those thoughts, but when she was unsure about marriage and something before that, it's hard not to take it personally. One thing that is the root of my issues, which are compounded by some of her being wishy-washy, that I haven't been able to totally shake, is how we started dating. This is how she told it to me and my understanding. She had moved to the city we are in now about a year before me. Before moving she had never drank or had a boyfriend. She got here and really broke out of her shell. She started drinking and going out all the time. She ended up meeting a guy who was in the military and they become FWB over the summer. He ended up getting sent to another state and I showed up after. We started dating. She was still talking to him before we were exclusive. She didn't hide that fact, but once it got serious enough she told him and we became exclusive. At the time it was always a little weird for me and I remember feeling like I wasn't her main interest, but again I maybe was being insecure. I told her and she admitted she was a little hung up, not on him but on commitment, and we took a week break, but she quickly came back and said she wanted me, and since then we have been together. Now comes the bad part. We bought a shared Apple laptop for doing stuff at home. She logged into her Apple ID. A month ago she went on a business trip. I've always known she writes basically a diary of her thoughts in her Notes app on her phone. I've seen her writing in there a lot, but she doesn't want me to see. TBH, I have been fine with that and IDK why I broke her trust this time when she was gone and looked. I have no excuses, but I did it. I went through her notes and immediately went all the way back to when we started dating. I found a massive pro-con list to dating me or dating her FWB. It literally confirmed a lot of the insecurities and gut feelings I had when we started dating. She had made lists of things and gave us scores out of 10 and added it up. It wasn't just one thing. It got very detailed. It was gut-wrenching to see how she did this. Just as an example, I got high scores on dependability, humor, being nice, shared interests, family potential, goals, etc. etc. She also graded more superficial stuff. She gave me a lower score in attractiveness. The most devastating was she gave me a 3/10 for sex and him a 10 out of 10. She even graded our dicks in detail. It was crazy and honestly extremely hurtful. It made me look like I was just safe and available, which at the time she assured me that wasn't the case at all. It was also clear she had seen him in person a few times before we were exclusive, but we were dating and she didn't tell me. This alone isn't a huge deal, but coupled with the other stuff feels like another knife in the back. The other relevant thing was she wrote about was making one last attempt to get him to date her, which was during our week-long break. He denied her. This makes her story again a lie. Everything points to me being clear consolation prize winner. Since then I've been so down and out of it. At the time I had some suspicion but chose to believe her, and I chalked my gut feeling up to my own insecurities. Dating is hard and I could totally understand that in certain situations you could get hung up on an ex and it be confusing, but all of what she wrote seemed to confirm she wanted him more. I don't think it was fair that she let me believe that we were truly in love. I feel like I've been almost tricked or scammed. On the other hand, I should have never read her thoughts. Maybe things have changed. She seems to be for the most part committed, but again there is little yellow flags that pop up. I don't know if her thoughts 5 years ago are even relevant. It also seems like this was all written down before we became actually together. It's just pain-inducing to see your wife grading you versus someone else. I can't decide if I should confront her about it or leave it be and just try to move on, knowing we have been together 5 years and for the most part I've been really happy. On the other hand, I worry she's not truly happy and it's a matter of time until she decides she made a mistake, and I would rather know now versus later. If she truly still thinks I'm her number 2 or the backup, I don't know why I'm wasting my time trying to build my life with her. It might be worth the confrontation over the diary to get to that answer. Or maybe I'm overreacting and everyone has doubts and the one who got away. It's so hard to tell. I need advice on whether it's the right move to confront her. You have proof she settled for you. Where is your self-respect? She wanted a break after you were exclusive to shoot her shot with her FWB one more time while having you as the fallback guy. Once we were married, things did get a lot better on that front for the first year, but in the past couple months she seems unsettled and she doesn't question us directly, but she will make comments about how it's crazy that people are monogamous or how she wants. This red flag is visible from space. Do you both a favor and get divorced and find someone who isn't with you because they're too much a coward to be alone? Hey honey, I was wondering, am I still a 3 out of 10 at sex? Print it out and discuss it with her. This isn't something you can ignore and just hope it'll go away on its own. Give her an opportunity to apologize, or to reassure you. Or to give you the closure you need to get the fuck out of there. Good luck. Thumbs up. I think you're underreacting. No, not everyone has doubts like that. Many such cases of a dependable, safe guy being settled for when the woman wasn't quite good enough to bag the rouge who knows how to smash. I would leave her purely because of the 3/10 bedroom rating alone. It's obvious you're not a good physical match. A husband should be able to make their wife climb the walls, not because he's some dynamo in bed, but because she desires him so much that when you are both together she gets off. At the very least you need to put your foot down and bring this up, preferably in couples therapy, cause yikes, that would be a devastating thing to read for anyone. It could be that she's a different person and now genuinely does love you. Even then you still have to address the insecurities you have in the relationship for you to figure out if you want to stay or not. My girlfriend, F24, got a tattoo as a tribute to her ex and I, M26, don't know how I feel about it. Me and my girlfriend have been together for about 6 months now, and first month into our relationship she gets a call one morning when she stayed over at mine from one of her friends saying that her ex had killed himself and this had completely destroyed her, and she's been blaming herself for his death as she was the last person he had spoken to. They were together for like 4 months but knew each other for a year. From what she told me, he didn't seem like the greatest guy. He would manipulate her, treat her horribly, and he was an alcoholic who apparently was going through stuff, but despite all that she still wanted to help him until she finally left one day. It's been 5 months now since his death. I understand, not that long. And she still blames herself and said she would do anything to have him back as he didn't deserve this. There are days where she feels really depressed and sad, but she would hardly open up to me because she says it upsets me her hearing about it, but would happily talk to the ex's best friend every day and would sometimes go hang out with him at his house where the ex used to live too, but in reality I just want to be there for her and help her get through this. Last week she told me she's getting a tattoo and she showed me a design that she was going to get. She ended up getting that tattoo and then sent me another photo saying she got another one, and this tattoo was a heart symbol and inside it saying, "Miss you," on her leg where it's visible, and I don't know how I feel about that. Now I know it's her body and she has the right to do whatever she wants, and I've also supported her through her grieving process. It hasn't been easy for me, but I'm still sticking by her side and being there for her, but I feel like this tattoo is the breaking point for me. I just don't know what to, because it doesn't feel right to me. I understand grief makes people do all sorts of things, and I know she's got no right to even ask if it's all right with me to get a tattoo as a tribute, but I feel like there's other ways of remembering someone like a ex rather than getting a tattoo which is permanent unless it was family member. She has a couple of his clothing as a sentimental thing to remember him, which I didn't really mind. I'm just nervous to bring this up because it sparked a few arguments up when I've tried explaining things to her, and she turns them on me and sometimes makes me the problem of the relationship when I tell her things that make me feel uncomfortable. I could handle her still keeping in touch with her ex's friend. I could handle her spending time with them, as I know that probably helps, but I think with this tattoo I would not be able to look at it every day, especially if we're in bed or getting intimate. I suggested for her to see a therapist because of what she's going through. It's pretty traumatic, but she brushed it off saying, "I am not ready to talk or let go of him yet." But she says she still wants this relationship to work. Has anyone had a similar experience to this or knows how to handle this situation? I'll try to be delicate with this. This relationship might not be for you. Rather, her mourning her ex to this extent and for so long shows to be that she not ready for your current relationship. You're saying he passed away 5 months ago. Meaning that 1 month into your relationship, you've been having to support her emotionally this way. That's a lot to ask that early in a relationship, especially for that long. I personally don't think she should be in a relationship, and that she needs time to heal. She still blames herself and said she would do anything to have him back as he didn't deserve this. She basically said she would not get with to save his life. No, leave her. No negotiations, just leave. She didn't know him long, and from your description it wasn't a healthy relationship, but she seems to have romanticized everything to do with him. It doesn't sound like she's dealing with this in a healthy way, and as much as she can do what she likes in terms of the tattoo, I do think it's disrespectful towards you. You are currently second best to her ex. It's okay if you decide that this isn't what you want anymore. She needs time to mourn right now, not a boyfriend. IM42 caught wife F38 flirting with family friend M30. Summer of 2021. IM42 caught my wife F38 of 21 years having an affair. Not only that, I found out she was texting and flirting, sending pics back and forth with the man that mows our yard. Also, I discover she was flirting with a family friend. I don't know all the details of everything except what she trickled-truth to me in tortuous ways. So I don't know the extent of the family friend and yard guy went. However, I am so angry because of one detail she will not admit. She admitted snapped the younger family friend his name as Jay. She sent him a pic of her back topless showing him her tan lines because he let her use his hair tie and wanted to thank him as he was lifesaver for letting her pull her hair up so it could get tan back. Anyway, the meet. Jay mows yards. Sometimes Jay mows yards late. And my wife's mother and few other people were hanging out, and they were basically saying Jay doesn't mow lawns that late and insinuating that he's out having relations with other women because he is married. Now this was all said in a joking manner. Jay mows yards late blah blah. Yeah right, that's what you call it? Says my wife. Basically meaning they think he is cheating on his wife. Well, later on my wife sent him a message saying, "Next time you need help mowing them late night lawns, let me know. I can help." Or something along those lines. Now I tell my wife, so basically you were letting him know you were down to fuck? She keeps saying no, she never wanted to fuck Jay, she was just being funny. And she denies it over and over again. She doesn't deny sending the message, just her intention of the message. But what else could her message mean? To me it is clear cut she was letting him know she's down. But she continues to deny it every time when I have all this info. She's trickled everything about the affair, and I just can't get past this because she just won't admit she would have fucked him and that message was indeed a green light. If she would just admit it, I might be able to compartmentalize it and move on. I'm not sure how to get past this. I'm going to be blunt here. She's cheated on you multiple times, and, from the sounds of it, has only admitted the emotional aspect. She has probably cheated on you physically too. She keeps doing it. Your wife has no respect for you and will keep doing this. You should find someone who actually respects relationship boundaries. Understandably, you don't trust your wife. You have two choices as I see it: leave or keep being a cuckold. Why are you putting up with your wife's shitty behavior? She obviously wants to fuck other men, or at least flirt with them behind your back. Why do the details matter? Why does her ownership of meaning matter? She's acting in a way that crosses your boundaries. Either she stops, or you walk. That should be the end of story. Get tested for STDs and have her served divorce papers. When she calls to ask what's going on, ask her if she is trying to be funny. She doesn't respect you, leave. She was doing exactly what you think she was doing, throwing a line out. My boyfriend, 25 male, of 7 years cheated on me, 24 female. And says he can't be with me anymore. I have been with my boyfriend for 7 years. We have had our ups and downs but had no inkling this would happen to me as we have been so happy recently. He is close with my whole family, I am close with his. We have a holiday booked next month and plans booked in advance. We have had 7 years of memories and a future to come. I am broken. He went on a golf trip with his friends and told me the hotel was empty and no one was there and that he was playing pool. He was sporadically texting me and a few hours later he stopped replying and in the morning said his phone died. Turns out he met a 31-year-old woman, somehow within 30 minutes of the recent and last text to me, got her number and was asking for her room number and saying come to our room etc. I found these texts on his phone. He sent me a pic of him in his bed at 1 a.m., clearly waiting for the girls to arrive. He slept with her in the evening, and once in the morning, clearly sober, so it was a choice not a mistake. I kicked him out this Sunday at 11 p.m. after finding the texts and he didn't message me since. So on Tuesday I had to get closure, so we met up, but he just kept saying he can't be with me because of what he's doing and isn't even trying to fix it. Didn't even have much to say to me as I was bawling my eyes out how he'd taken everything from me. The friend he was with, who also did the same, is groveling for his girlfriend and feeling absolutely awful. Why would someone switch their emotions off after 7 years, hurting someone they loved, and not even bothering to fix it? Even if he knew I wouldn't forgive him, why isn't he trying? He's telling everyone he's sad, but I won't ever take him back. He's not even giving me the time of day to make my own decision. I wouldn't shy away from telling both of your families why you're breaking up just so he can't spin it in his favor. Why protect his reputation after what he's done? His cheating has nothing to do with you, it's a reflection of his failures, not yours. The fact that he won't try to win you back does not mean you aren't worthy of love and respect. Unfortunately, you may never get the closure you want. Even if he does answer whatever questions you have, there will likely still be a part of you that doesn't believe he's telling the truth. Choosing your own peace is the only real closure we can ever have. Cut contact with him and get yourself to therapy so you can work through the fallout. Red heart. Why do you want him back? Or do you just need the satisfaction of seeing him upset but don't want him back? Either way, it sounds weird. Time to move on. You're young. Some people are absolute cowards and do shit like this instead of just breaking up with someone. I've had it happen to me before and it's not pretty. They also never tried to reconcile really because they wanted things to be over, so they broke the one boundary they knew I couldn't forgive. My guess is that he's been comfortable, since y'all have been together since you were teenagers, and didn't know how to talk to you about changing feelings because your relationship is all he knew. Doesn't make it all right, but he probably was thinking about ending it for a while and took a coward's way out by hurting you like this rather than having a mature conversation. Sorry you've been through this. But good riddance.